What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So we officially have our very first trade of the offseason. Josh Giddey has been sent to the Chicago Bulls for Alex Caruso. Of course, it happens the day that I did a Thunder video where I traded Josh Giddey in a different trade. But hey, I'll still take it because trade season is here. So as I mentioned, we literally just did a Thunder rebuild yesterday. If you guys really want to see me do a Caruso video, I'm down to do it, but I don't want to like overly saturate the same thing, I guess. Like, it was the Thunder yesterday, so if you guys really want to see it, I'll do it. But today we are going to be doing a Josh Giddey Chicago Bulls rebuild, talking about it from both perspectives, from the Bulls side of this trade and also the Thunder side of this trade. Let's get into it. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. If you don't know who I am and this is the first time you're clicking here, basically how I love to do rebuild content is I try to get things as realistic as I possibly can. We do go off the rails sometimes, don't get me wrong, because 2K is 2K, but we do our very best. And now we get to talk about, like I said, the very first trade of the offseason. So Alex Caruso, Josh Giddey, obviously love it for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They get one of the best perimeter defending role players, who I think is going to fit extremely well in OKC. So that, I think that goes without saying. The Thunder did fantastic in this trade. Josh Giddey is where it becomes interesting, because I was actually in a group chat when the trade happened, and there was very differing opinions. And I'm on the side of, I didn't hate it for Chicago. I definitely understand the fact that they could have traded Caruso a long time ago and probably got more. But I think this is the kind of trade that they needed to make. Bank on Giddey potentially breaking out in Chicago, having the ball in his hands a little bit more, and heading towards rebuild. I will say, I absolutely hate this trade if they're going to resign DeMar DeRozan and run it back with like DeRozan, Giddey, and like LaVine and all that. That doesn't make any sense to me. And if you're going towards a reset, I love it for Chicago as well. And we're going to try to make Josh Giddey something here in Chicago next to like Kobe White, I would assume. DeMar DeRozan is a free agent. Of course, there's tons and tons of Zach LaVine trade rumors. But now that Josh Giddey is brought in, it does make me wonder about Lonzo Ball's future. Do they plan on keeping him or trading him while his value is extremely low? I'm not totally sure about that, so I guess we'll see. But first step, as always, is the coaching staff. Billy Donovan is the head coach for now, and I'm going to keep it that way. So all we get to do is jump into draft night to start things off here with pick number 12 on this Bulls squad. And this time I'll have to draft a certain player because I did a video on a certain player. I think the last Bulls rebuild that we did. But now we can just draft whoever we feel is best at that pick now that we've acquired Josh Giddey. DeMar DeRozan's a free agent. LaVine trade coming soon as well. So let's just go ahead, jump into this NBA draft. Today's video is brought to you by DJF's Optimizer. You've played apps such as Prize Picks, Underdog, or any other DFS app. Having a tool like this is so clutch, finding good plays right in front of you without having to do any research whatsoever. So I am actually recording this very late at night, so there's not a whole lot of value on the board right now. But as you can see, if there was just one thing we were looking at, you do have a early play on Jose on the Mets as the pitcher, over 3.5 strikeouts. You actually could come down to Caitlin Clark under 6.5 assists as well. Every single book is favoring the under on her assists at this very moment. Same thing with the over on Jose. And I found those plays within 2 seconds, which is why I absolutely love this tool. Ever since I started using this tool, it's made me a much profitable sports bettor. And of course, I use it on apps such as Prize Picks. Prize Picks is also a DFS app that allows you to choose between 2 to 6 players. 2 players mean 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players mean 25 times your entry. Unfortunately, no basketball, but the variety that Prize Picks does, or no NBA, I should say, but the variety that Prize Picks offers you does not even make you, it doesn't even matter. There's just so much variety. You got MLB, NHL that's still going on for maybe a couple more games. Esports, golf's on here, tennis, all kinds of options to choose from. So make sure to check out DGF and Prize Picks. Both links are down in the description below. Use code Crushables for 25% off first month on DGF's Optimizer, and then on Prize Picks, if you use code Crushables, the match first deposit offer are up to $100. But let's get back to the video. So we are about to jump into the NBA draft. I'm actually recording this right after the Sacramento Kings extended Malik Monk, so that's kind of cool. I didn't know he would stay in Sacramento. I thought he might be heading to a team like Detroit that needs shooting. But hey, he stays. So there was some rumors about LaVine to Sacramento. I do wonder if Malik Monk resigning maybe stops that from happening. I could still see them technically trading for LaVine, so that maybe takes out a team. And of course, I've also put Siakam's extension on here as well in my file. So yeah, there's that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, jump straight into this NBA draft, and let's just see how it goes. Of course, as I mentioned, we're picking number 12. Alex Sarr goes 1, despite all the rumors that the Hawks don't seem to like Alex Sarr. We'll see if that ends up being true come draft night, which is literally like a week away, which is kind of crazy. So Ricochet goes to Portland Trailblazers, Reed Shepard, Tyler Smith, and then Utah takes Kyle Filipowski. So who do we want here at this pick? So we do have Nikola Topic. Of course, banking on his upside would probably be really nice for the Chicago team. You have Tijon Salon down here, Zach Giddey, Dalton Connect. We could take Zach Giddey or Donovan Klingen, but I think I'm going to take Cody Williams today. Let's bring in Cody Williams out of Colorado. So we'll take him. And did I say pick 12, by the way? I think I meant pick 11. Sorry, pick 11. I've been saying 12 this whole time. So the Thunder take Nikola Topic, which would have been a good pick as well, but I kind of want to focus on Josh Giddey today for this video, which is why I didn't take Nikola Topic. So Cody Williams brought in, Torrey Craig accepts, Dalen Terry, and then, we can go ahead and accept that. And Lonzo Ball, of course, which he already accepted that option in real life. Like, who's going to really blame him? He hasn't played basketball in like 2 years, so he might as well take that money, of course. All right, so Patrick Williams is a free agent, so it is going to be interesting if Chicago ends up keeping him. And then, of course, your other important free agent is DeMar DeRozan. So when it comes to DeMar DeRozan, I don't know if any other team is going to throw him a ton of money. So the only way I could see him getting a lot of money is if it's from Chicago. But again, I think it would be kind of dumb if you're Chicago to resign DeMar DeRozan and play with Josh Giddey. I think that fit is horrendous. They may do it, not ruling it out, but I don't know. I would hate it for them. I really would. So as much as this probably isn't a good thing to do, but Chicago, maybe there's a sign and trade scenario that happens. I can't really think of what team that would be with right now, but this may be unpopular to some people, but I'm probably just going to let DeMar DeRozan walk in free agency, which is something I could actually see happening in real life, because I feel like the team he probably would want to go to the most is LA. And obviously the Clippers can't give him that much money, or the Lakers, or I'm not really sure what the Lakers or I know the Clippers probably don't have an MLE, but the Lakers, I'm not sure if they do or not. But yeah, so yeah, I hate to break it to you if you're a Chicago fan and you love DeMar DeRozan. I'm going to let him walk for nothing. And that might be unpopular, like I said, but I'm going to do it just because I hate DeMar, thinking of a DeMar DeRozan trade anyway right now. When it comes to a sign and trade, there's probably some team I could find that maybe we could do something with, but I'm just going to leave it as he walks in free agency. And I could honestly see that happening in real life anyway. So that turns our attention to Mr. Zach LaVine. So let's go ahead and throw him in the trade finder, start things off, and just see what's offered to us. So the 76ers drafted Justin Edwards, and they want to give us Justin Edwards in a first-round pick. Sounds like the 76ers are interested in LaVine. I think it would be a bad use of their cap space if they did get him, but since I'm Chicago and I'm just looking to get LaVine out of here, maybe we'd go ahead and do that trade. So we got John Collins on a first-round pick from the Utah Jazz, Cameron Johnson, Finney Smith. Raptors, doesn't make a lot of sense for them to trade for LaVine Vassell. So with that all being said, I guess we have to go to the 76ers who want to offer me Justin Edwards in a first. So I think we're going to go ahead and do this trade. I don't know what LaVine's trade value is going to be. I don't think it's going to be very good. I don't love this, like I said, for the 76ers, but for Chicago, getting off his contract, we get a first. That's the Clippers first as well, which I think would be very, very rich if you're the 76ers. But you know what? I'll take it. We probably won't even get to 2020 in this video. Actually, we might get to that point. But yeah, so now we get Zach LaVine out of here. So that's one step towards rebuilding. We get a first-round pick and Justin Edwards. And then you have Josh Giddey, who's going to be the point guard of this roster. So I guess we could leave him at the 2 guard. Kobe White would, it really doesn't matter that much, but I'll play Kobe White shooting guard, Josh Giddey at point guard. So we'll do something like that. And then Lonzo, like I said, we got to figure out what we're going to do with him as well. I don't know if they plan on trading him or keeping him with this team currently. It'll be interesting to see what they do there. Maybe Charlotte wouldn't mind grabbing him to make Lonzo happy, so I could see that happening. So with that all being said, Josh Giddey, Lonzo Ball, Kobe White, Odosumu. So that, of course, is going to work out. So our guard rotation's probably set for the most part. And then small forward, Cody Williams. And then Patrick Williams is a free agent still. And then Vucevic is a starting center. I actually don't think Vucevic would be a bad fit next to Giddey for at least this season. So I think I'll keep Vucevic for now. So now we can go to free agency. And we can go ahead and sign Patrick Williams back. So we're going to do that. So let's offer him a contract. I usually always keep him in every Bulls video just because he's a nice 3-and-D wing that shoots really well in 2K. He may never turn into that in real life for Chicago. He may even go somewhere else. So we're going to go ahead and get him. And then we do need a backup 5, it looks like. So going to go get Hardenstein, bring back Drummond. Maybe bring in Jalen Smith, who has the ability to space the floor a little bit. 41% from 3 last year. So you know what? Give me Jalen Smith. Someone I never really get anyway. So we're going to sign Jalen Smith to a nice little contract. Maybe a little bit of an overpay. Probably should have lowered it a little bit, but all good. Could bring Derrick Jones Jr. back to Chicago, but don't think I'm going to do that. So probably just need one more forward, and then we should be good to go. So let's go see. We could go give a Coro a contract, Prince, or we could maybe just sign like a Kogi or something. So is there a power forward that maybe makes more sense? Haywood Highsmith. Give me Haywood Highsmith for a little bit of a cheap contract, and we'll do something along the lines of that. So that is Just kidding. He goes back to Miami. They match his offer sheet. I didn't even realize he was restricted. So give me Najee Marshall, who I've gotten a couple times, but we'll bring him in. We might be able to play him at small forward as well. He might even go up. So here's your player progression after all that is said and done. I actually am curious to see where DeMar DeRozan went. So who gave him money? I'm assuming it might be the Thunder because they have cap space, but let's see who else maybe give it to him. So he goes to Detroit. Detroit is a team that needs shooting, so I think DeRozan to Detroit would be an atrocious fit. But hey, it is what it is. He goes there. Nothing we can do about it. So Josh Giddey, although it doesn't say he moved up, he did. Technically, he was an 80 overall earlier. Jalen Smith and Patrick Williams go up, and then Dalen Terry is up, and then Lonzo Ball is completely healthy now. I actually do want to trade him before the season starts. And again, I don't know if Chicago's going to do that in real life. It probably would make sense for him to play a little bit. And then, Lonzo Ball used to be able to shoot, really developed that part of his game. So it's not like him and Giddey would be terrible together. It's just, you really don't know what Lonzo Ball is going to look like. So, I guess I'll keep him for now. I guess he can come off the bench or whatever. So we'll do something like that, and then we'll probably trade him at the deadline. So we got to cut a few guys here. So all those guys that came back on their qualifying offer at the very end, we got to get rid of them. So we're releasing all those guys, and now we can go take a look at this rotation. So as you can see, it's not good, but Lonzo Ball isn't fully healthy yet. So once he is fully back, he will be joining the rotation as well. But it's Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Cody Williams, Patrick Williams, Vucevic, Jalen Smith, I would assume Najee Marshall, and Dalen Terry. All looks good to me. And then one other thing is, can I move Najee Marshall small forward? Yes, I can. I still want Cody Williams to start, but they do want to start Najee Marshall, which I'm not opposed to. So that means Cody Williams heads to the bench. No, let's start Cody Williams. We might as well. So I'll start Cody Williams, and then we'll send Justin Edwards to the G League. I was about to say I was going to send someone to the G League, but I forgot who it was. And of course, I may stop the deadline to trade maybe Vucevic, trade Lonzo. We'll figure it out, but let's go ahead and submit year number 1 with Josh Giddey in Chicago. And then one last thing to look at. We're 3.5 balance, so I'll leave that the way it is. But yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm curious and excited to see how it does go. So we are at the trade deadline as promised, as we are 19-32 on the season right now, which was to be expected. We were kind of sneaking around on that play-in spot, but as I mentioned, I am going to try to trade Lonzo Ball here. He has not done anything too crazy this season. He's only played a little bit, so I don't think his trade value would be that tremendous. So we definitely have to keep that in mind. But I am going to try to send him to Charlotte because I think that could make a ton of sense. I could really see his brother maybe pushing for that, and I could see the Charlotte Hornets just taking that chance. So as far as what we want in return from them, well, I actually don't mind the idea of potentially getting like Grant Williams back. And then I don't know if a first round pick would be warranted if in this scenario, just because like I guess you can give up that Miami lottery protected pick, but maybe it's just like a simple second round pick for Lonzo, something like that, where we get Grant Williams, who I think would be a solid fit next to Josh Giddey going forward. So get a second and Grant Williams for Lonzo. We will absolutely take that as we continue to make this team as good as possible around Josh Giddey, who's averaging 17 points and, hey, shooting 40% from 3 on the season, at least here in 2K. And then Kobe White shooting 19 points and 39%. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes. And then they do want to start. We have so many Williams on this team, by the way. So that's kind of cool. They want to start Najee Marshall. But once again, I am going to prioritize Cody Williams developing. So we're going to go back to Cody Williams starting. I really don't care how good this team is this year. Honestly, I'd prefer to just tank and keep our picks. I'm pretty sure our pick is like top 10 protected by the Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. But hey, Lonzo Ball is gone now, so let's go ahead, keep simulating. And hey, like I said, if we tank and suck the rest of the year, that is totally fine by me. If we get to add a Cooper Flag or a Dylan Harper, or not, maybe not Dylan Harper today, but a Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, I'm totally okay with that. So Luka wins MVP at the end of year number 1, but this season obviously didn't lead to the playoffs by any means, which is to be expected. We were an okay team. We won like, I think around 30 games, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we won 30 on the dot. So we were a lottery team. Of course, we'd love to get lucky and get the number 1 overall pick. We'll see if that ends up happening, but let's go ahead and see who wins the championship really quickly. But the main thing is we get to keep our draft pick, which is pretty important in a rebuild like this. So we got the Denver Nuggets, especially in this draft class coming up, but rematch of the finals for a couple years ago, and the Nuggets do beat the Heat again. So LeBron James is going to call it a career for this time around, and now we can go straight to the lottery. We have a new head coach to hire this offseason, and we get to see where our pick ends up. So it's actually projected to be in the top 3, which is terrific. Now it is tied it looks like, with the Knicks and the Thunder, which is via Detroit and obviously the Clippers. But, and then you got Houston and Nets have back-to-back picks there. And then it says we have Portland's pick, but that is also lottery protected. So we will see. I would love to stay in the top 3, maybe get 1 if possible. Do we get lucky here? And we drop to 7. That is tough. So Thunder jumped to 1, Raptors 2, Rockets 3, Knicks via Detroit, which I believe that pick is protected, so I might fix that. And then number 7 goes to us. All right. That sucks. You know, losing the pick like that, really or dropping out of the top 3 like that, really, really unfortunate. But now we get to hire our brand new head coach here for Chicago. So who do we want leading this rebuild is the big question. So Jason Kidd, no longer the coach of the Mavericks. Mazzulla is here. Mark Daigneault, Billy Donovan. Obviously, some of these guys would probably never be here in real life. I thought that was Bobby Marks for a second. I'm like, hey, Bobby Marks is out here. That'd be interesting. Okay. I guess we go for a real head coach, and Mazzulla to Chicago would be very interesting. I mean, we could get him, I get, or I didn't offer enough. I didn't mean to do that. So whatever. So I don't know. Like, him out of Boston seems kind of weird anyway, but you never know. Things change all the time. So I guess I'll grab Mr. Taylor Jenkins if possible. I think he'd be pretty good. So we are going to get Taylor Jenkins to be our head coach for Chicago, to be our brand new head coach, which is awesome. And now we can grab Jonathan Watson to come here, and then now we can grab Carney, and then we can grab a guard guru, and then now we can go ahead and fix probably that Knicks pick fairly quickly, give that back to Detroit, and then we can go from there and see what we get at pick 7. I just remembered how the Chicago Bulls are always picking at 7, and that happened again here. So Trey Johnson goes 1 to the Thunder. Very interesting. So Raptors take Ace Bailey. Wow. The fact that Cooper Flag is dropping this far, no way he falls to me at 7, bro. That's insane. He almost fell to me. So that would have been wild if he fell to us at 7, but no, he does not. I was about to be speechless, but we can grab Hugo Gonzalez, DJ Wagner, VJ Edgecombe, Liam, Ian Jackson. A lot of good options here, but I do believe we take Hugo Gonzalez and run away with it. So Wagner would be cool, VJ Edgecombe would be cool, but I am very happy with taking Hugo out of Spain, bringing him into Chicago, and walking away feeling very, very good. So now we can take Lee, and then, another option, or maybe that's the next draft class I'm thinking of. So yeah, next draft class I was thinking of a certain guy, but I'll let the assistant GM take wherever they want there. So we get a 77 overall at our pick, which isn't bad, and I think we will move him to small forward. So Jalen Carr, or Javon Carr, I should say, accepts, and then we'll accept. Actually, we probably won't worry about him this time. Qualifying offers, Josh Giddey is a free agent, so it would be interesting to see how much Chicago would have to pay him depending on the kind of year that he has. Asking for $27 million, so that's not like a max contract. He is kind of the theme of the video, though, so I am going to re-sign him. So we'll bring back Josh Giddey. So he's coming back to Chicago, so we got him re-signed, and then we'll see what else we can do. So Javon Carter, Josh Giddey, we got Hugo, and then we're going to move some things around here fairly quickly. So Vucevic, I'm probably going to move this offseason. So what we're going to do is we're going to move Hugo to small forward, because I do want to continue to start Kobe White. So Hugo is going to go to small forward, which is nice. So we'll go there with that direction. So Najee Marshall, we'll figure out what to do with him. Maybe Cody Williams doesn't. We'll figure it out. But Vucevic, again, I'm going to move him right now. So that's probably what we're going to go ahead and do at this very moment. So let's see what we can get for Nikola Vucevic's services. I'm not expecting too much. The man is 34 years old. So whatever we get back, I'm totally fine with. Norman Powell in a first. Nick Richards in a first-round pick. So that is that Miami pick. I guess if the Hornets wanted a boost, Vucevic could be that guy, so we can make another trade with them. That might be the trade we do so far. Wagner and a top 3 protected, send him back to Orlando. Okay, Duran, of course, would be amazing, but that doesn't make any sense. Wiggins, and then Johnny Davis, first-round pick from the Wizards. Okay. I think we do that trade with the Hornets, because I can see them maybe being in more of a win-now direction at this point. We get Nick Richards, who's a good backup center. So we'll take that. We get that Miami pick. So I'll take that, and that sounds great to me. So center rotation, of course, is not set in stone by any means. We'll run with Jalen Smith and Nick Richards this year, but not our long-term plans by any means. I think we're going to leave this the way it is for now. Again, this is not our long-term plans by any means, but we have Josh Giddey locked up, Kobe White's locked up for a couple more years, and now we're going to figure out what we have in Hugo playing his rookie season, but everyone here is developing. Cody Williams even go up to an 80 overall was tremendous as well, which we love to see. So I would not be surprised whatsoever this team ended up being a play-in team next year. I really do think that's on the table of possibilities. So we'll simulate year 2. Not a whole lot of movement this offseason, but we were just taking that patient approach and just looking forward to every draft possible. Now, I don't know what the Bulls pick is protected next year. I'm not sure if it's protected at all. I'm pretty sure it's going to say that the Spurs get it entirely, which it does at the moment. And the Blazers pick says it's unprotected, but it really isn't in real life. So Giddey, Kobe White, Marshall starting. Once again, I don't know why Marshall still starts. I'm going to move him out of here. So Marshall, you're going to have to go to power forward once again, my friend. I'm sorry. So you're going back to power forward. So now Cody Williams is going to start. So they want to bring Hugo off the bench, which I'm fine with. And then Edwards, we can send the G League again since we did trade for him and continue to develop him that way. All right. I'm going to go ahead. Something like this season, see how it goes. We're not, like I said, we'll not be overly surprised if this team surprised us and made a playing spot, especially with Jenkins as the head coach now, but we'll see what happens. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. So no playing appearance this year for us, but it was a solid season nonetheless. So if we take a look at the all rookie teams and see if we do get Hugo, which we do, which is nice. So we averaged 13 off the bench, which is nice. Once he gets a starting role, I can only imagine where it might blossom from there. It was a solid season. We actually were very close to making into the plan. We ended up winning 39 games. So unfortunately for us, though, our pick is only top 8 protected this offseason. So with how many games we won, I wouldn't be surprised if that may have screwed us out of keeping our draft pick. So we'll see what happens there. But you have the Thunder going on to beat the Nets in 5. You got a couple of retirements there with Brooke and Harden. But let's go to draft lottery and let's figure out where our pick may land. So it is projected to be 11. So we'll see if we get lucky at all. We can actually just go ahead and watch this since 11 is coming up very quickly, as we know. So yeah, the Grizzlies got extremely lucky with how far Flag fell to them last year. I've never seen them fall that far. Raptors via Indiana. Okay, so that's from that Siakam trade. And then you got Boston at 12. So Boston has fallen off, I guess, according to 2K, which we're not surprised by. If you watch the Boston video, you know why. All right, so let's see what happens here. So it is going to stay 11. So we got to send this pick to San Antonio. Unfortunately, we do not get to keep this pick. So we miss out on our draft pick this offseason, which really, really sucks. And then we also got to send we actually get to keep the Blazers pick because it's outside the lottery. So that's nice at least. So let's go ahead and send this back to the Spurs. It is now conveyed, so I can just go ahead and take that second. So, all right. So now we have the 15th pick. And we're probably going to draft again. I don't think I'm going to make like some aggressive trade right now. I don't think we're there yet. Do I need to hire anybody? So it looks like I just need a wing whisper. Let's go ahead and jump into this draft and see who we can get with our 15th overall pick. If I can find, there we go. We got Mr. Malik King. So let's get him. All right, so let's do get at 15 in this draft. And then we can go from there. So 15... let's see who falls to us. So I'm not really sure I'm going to know any prospects here, you know, like at the back of my hand or anything like that. But we'll see what we can get. So we got Sid, Gee, Darius. We got a big man, which I do believe we need a big man to develop for the future. And we have Alejandro Livers. I don't know which one's better. Don't know anything about these guys. Starter, bench, and then him is all-star. So I guess we take the guy with the all-star upside, 7 foot out of Puerto Rico. So we get him. I'm not really sure if he ever ends up being anything for us, but hey, we'll take him nonetheless. Phillips will accept, and then qualifying offers, Dalen Terry is a free agent. So I would love nothing more than to solve my center position problem this offseason. I'm pretty sure we aren't going to have, let's see, do we have Jalen Smith under? Yes, we do. 1 more year. Okay, so Nick Richards, I did extend. So yeah, by the way, I did extend Kobe White, Ayotusumu, and Nick Richards at the extension deadline because I kind of liked keeping Richards at the back at 5. Grant Williams are still here. Cole Williams, Hugo is still here. Then Kobe White. So pretty much I think our small forward rotation is set. Our guard rotation is set. It's all about the power forward in the center position. Patrick Williams, I do like as a player, but it would be okay with me if we, changed it up and maybe traded him this time around because we always keep him, I think, in like every Bulls video that I do. And then we do need to upgrade that 5 man. Like I said, as much as we just drafted Alejandro Livers, it may not be ready right now. So I think we may look into maybe trying to swing for like, kind of similar to what they did with Giddey, getting a player that's maybe been given up on by the organization for whatever reason. Maybe he doesn't fit anymore, whatever it may be. I think that's what I'm going to try to look for. I don't know if we'll be able to find that in the center or power forward spot, but we're going to see if we can. I actually have the perfect idea, but it's all dependent on if this goes as I think it will. So basically what I want to try to do is I want to try to do a sign and trade with Jabari Smith Jr. As we know, he hasn't really been all that great in Houston, but he is an 87 overall here in 2K. So as long as he signs with the Rockets, I'm going to try to do some type of sign and trade with them. So I'm assuming he will eventually sign an extension with them, and then we can kind of move from there. So far, nothing, though. If I had the money, I would just offer it to him because I think he's going to be a tremendous fit at that power forward spot next to Giddey, which he might have been signed. Is he still here? Is he? No, it looks like he got signed. So hopefully it's to the Rockets, or this just put a fork in everything. So let's see if he did go back to Houston. Probably could just go to the Rockets and see, but he did, in fact, go back to the Rockets, which is great because I want to see if we could do some sign and trade. So Jabari Smith Jr. coming over Chicago, who would be a tremendous fit here. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to send them Patrick Williams, who is a guy that I could maybe see like, okay, Chicago, Chicago thinks. But I guess in this scenario, if Jabari Smith Jr. was disappointing, he wouldn't get like 30 million, but whatever. Just, walk with me here. So we're going to send them Patrick Williams. We'll send them Justin Edwards, who we got in that Levine trade, who we have not been able to use to this point and probably won't ever be able to. And then we can send them Grant Williams as well, or Nick Richards or whatever. So I guess we send them Jalen Smith since we have Nick Richards, and then maybe we just start Livers right away, just throw them right in the fire. So yeah, let's do that. So Patrick Williams, Edwards, Jalen Smith for Jabari in a sign and trade. So let's see if they would do this straight up, and they agree. So just like that, we have a sign and trade done with the Rockets. We're gonna get Jabari Smith Jr. So Alejandro Livers, we're just gonna throw him in the fire right away and see what he does at that center spot. So I guess the one other thing I wouldn't mind doing is signing a point guard as a backup. So give me, I don't know, who do we want? There's really no good options here. We could just bring back Javon Carter, who is playing here. We have Markelle Fultz, who can move to point guard. Bruce Brown. I guess I'll just go ahead and bring in like Goodwin or something. I don't know. Do we want Goodwin or we want Monte Morris like I always get? I'm going to go ahead and grab Jared Butler. Let's grab Jared Butler. So we'll sign Jared Butler to be our backup point guard. Not that that may matter, but let's go see what player progression is looking like. So we're going to play Livers right away over Nick Richards, and Jabari was our big addition next to Josh Giddey, Kobe White, and Hugh goes up to an 83, which is just terrific. So I'm excited about this team. Now that we've brought in Jabari Smith Jr., and he is making a lot of money, but I think at the end of the day, it will be worth it to have brought him into a scenario where, like I said, his previous team may have given up on him for whatever reason. We're headed to 2027 already at this point, so let's go ahead and load that 2027 draft class, and now we can get in next season and see if we can make our first play-in appearance of the video, or playoff appearance. So they do want to start Nick Richards, but once again, I'm going to start the guy that has all-star upside and Alejandro Livers. So that is what we're going to do. So he will play. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure Nick Richards doesn't start at all. We're going to put non-starter, and we're going to throw Richards right in the fire and see what he does. So not Richards, sorry, Livers right in the fire. So that being done, here is what it's looking like. So they want to start Grant Williams now, obviously. So we are going to, I guess what we do in this scenario is we go to Livers and we put force non-starter on. So that's what we'll do. Or I guess in this scenario that wouldn't do anything. What am I talking about? So never mind. I guess you can't force him as starter. I guess I'll just put him in the minutes. Whatever. All right. You guys get where I'm going with this. Well, we're going to make him a starter. Grant Williams, get out of here. You're not starting like that. So Grant Williams, we're going to give you more minutes, of course, than like these guys down here. But yeah, we'll do something like that. So Hugo's actually going to come off the bench as well here, which is kind of interesting. So Williams is going to start, but it's cool to see that Williams has developed nicely. So love that. Then Grant Williams, and then Livers will give him like 28. So 27 minutes. All right. We'll simulate this season, see how it goes. Maybe we still have the deadline to make some trade. But I'm just hoping that this is the year that we finally make a play-in appearance. I do believe there's a very good chance that happens. So for the first season of the video, we finally do make it into the play-in, which is nice. Now, unfortunately, it's the 10th seed, so it's nothing crazy, but at least we're the 10th seed as a young team that has some upside for the future. So you had 19 from Kobe White, 18 from Hugo, 17 from Josh Giddey, 15 from Sumo, and then 15 from Jabari. Cole Williams with 15. So to me, and then Livers didn't do too bad as well. 8.6 rebounds and 2 blocks. He earned his way to start, which is nice. Well, I guess I threw him in there right away, but it looks like he fit fairly well. 50% from the field, 53%. So yeah, love to see it. And now we get the Hornets in round 1 of the play-in. Do they keep Lonzo? They got Paulo Banchero somehow, so that's a little intimidating. And Franz Wagner. Wow. How'd this team end up only being a play-in team? Because that isn't... They got both the Orlando guys. That's kind of crazy. And then they have Stephon Castle. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one, but hey, here goes nothing. So, game 1 of the play-in. Let's see if we can come out here and maybe win it. So we got the Hornets at home. We start off with the lead here, but that doesn't mean anything necessarily. But it looks like we may end up taking care of them, maybe. So we are going to go into the second round of the play-in as we get to the Pistons. Do they still have DeMar DeRozan at this point? Let's see. Ron Holland is now been drafted. DeRozan is gone. I don't see him. All right. So they have Jamal Murray, Quinn Grimes. So they don't have Cade or Ivy anymore, and they somehow actually kept Duran this time. It feels like they always lose him, but hey, they kept him this time, so props to Detroit for that. All right, so they actually looks like they want to start Grant Williams at the center position. I'm not doing it, so let's just simulate without listening to 2K's advice here and see if we can get into the playoffs. It's a close game. We might get it, maybe. We've taken the lead a couple times, but at the end of the day, it looks like we are going to get bounced here. So to me, it's all about how much Livers develops this offseason. If he develops enough, I think we'll be a playoff team next year. But I don't know if we can really bank on it. I guess we'll see what player progression looks like. Timberwolves go on to win it all. They had a really good record, so it's not too surprising to see. But now we can go to the lottery, although this is not going to matter for us, I don't think. Actually, I have the Miami pick, but this is where it's lottery protected, right? So we don't get to keep it. All right. So Miami's pick ends up being lottery protected. They get 8, and then we don't have any picks in this draft. So, or at least I don't think we do. Let me double check. And yeah, we don't. All right. So now we can go to, let's see, perimeter defensive coach. We can grab Mr. Goldman, and that should be done there. All right. So now we go take a look at player options and see what we got going on player options. See if there's any free agents to worry about. So Cody Williams and Hugo, of course, we're accepting both of those. Qualifying offers, nothing. And then free agency. Pretty sure we don't have any important free agents to worry about. So Grant Williams is a free agent. I wouldn't lose sleep over losing him. But all right. Center position. That's our biggest weakness, of course, right now. I really like where the team is at. I mean, all these guys have the chance to be fantastic. But yeah, the center position is definitely the weakness. Just wish I knew how much he would develop. If I knew he was going up to a 78 overall right now, I'd feel pretty good, but I don't know if I can bank on that. That's my problem. But we do need to sign someone because we have no depth. So I'm going to sign a backup power forward, it looks like. So give me, to bring back Grant Williams, give me Tamani Kamara. Give me Tamani Kamara, who I think it would be a great fit here. So we're going to grab Tamani Kamara, bring him in to Chicago. So I love that for us. And then I see Ben Simmons as a point guard option, which would be funny. Yeah, Ben Simmons and Giddey on the same team does not sound like a good idea. Lionel Banton, you have Keon Ellis, who I don't mind. Ryan Dunn is here as well. Okay. Isaiah Joe, and then Terrence Mann. Jordan Hawkins is out here. So a lot of good options here. 7 points. Jordan Hawkins. Give me Hawkins, and we might play him in point guard. So that'll be our 2 big additions, and we might sign... No, that's probably going to be it. So we may end up regretting not addressing the center position a little bit better, but again, I'm kind of hoping we go to player progression and Livers goes up and overall like crazy. That is the hope right now. We played him a lot of minutes. Did it pay off? He is up to 77. You know what? I will take that. I actually don't think that's too bad. So everyone else has developed 85, 85, 85, 84, 82. So I will absolutely take the 77 overall upgrade. Is that enough at the end of the day? It may not be, but you know, I'm kind of okay with just developing our center and see that eventually works out. So Power Ranking lands us 19th overall. We did not make the playoffs last year, but I think this year that's going to change. So Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Hugo, Jabari, Livers, Cody Williams, Adesumu, Nick Richards, and Tamani Kamara. I will see you guys at the end of year, whatever this is. I don't even know where we're at this point, but the ultimate goal this year, as we start off, not off to a great start, but the ultimate goal this year is to be a playoff team. No play-in team, just be a straight up playoff team, as we're literally hovering around 500 right now, but we'll eventually turn it around. If I do stop at the deadline, I will show you, but I truly believe this team is going to turn it up. So at the end of the season, MVP goes to Anthony Edwards, but man, oh man, did the regular season go well, which is what we wanted at this point. We wanted to be a playoff team, and we stole the 3rd seed on the very last day of the season. We were hovering around that 5th, 4th seed at the end, or 5th through 6th seed. And for whatever reason, we got the 3rd seed on the very last day. Now, we do draw the Cavaliers in round 1. But Josh Giddey and Hugo averaged 20 and 21, 19, 16, 16, and 13. So hopefully this ends up going well. And then we need to look at our center, see how he's doing at this point. So he's up to 77, as we know, 8 and 7, and almost 2 blocks. So exactly what you want out of your starting center. Not attempting threes or anything like that, but yeah. So we'll see how this goes. Cleveland in round 1. So we got Garland, Mitchell, Jay Sean Tate, Mobley, Allen, Daniels is there. So Keelan Ware, or however you say, or whatever his real name is in real life. Of course, 2K, the creators have to misspell names because of profanity read in some names for whatever reason. All right, so when it's not really profanity, if you know what I'm talking about. But regardless, which I just realized we signed Jordan Hawkins not to play him. I feel like an idiot. Whatever. I totally forgot we signed him. All right, it's fine. We get the Cavs in round 1. It's my current round, and we are going to be in an even series with them. So let's go to Simcast, and let's see if we can come out here and win game 5 to potentially win this one and have a huge advantage going to game 6. This is a back and forth game, and we are going to lose game 5. Okay. This is the first year of being here, so we got to keep that in mind. They want to start Audisumu for game 6, which is interesting, but hey, if 2K says that's what we should do, I'll try it. So, if we lose here, that's gonna suck, and we do lose. So we lose in round 1. So baby steps, but you know what? We're getting closer to our goal. So Thunder, Atlanta, the Hawks go on to win the championship. Which did I just wait? I don't know. Shea probably won Finals MVP, but the Hawks won. I was say I just saw Shea win Finals MVP, but I was like, is he on the Hawks? No. So we actually get that Clippers pick here from that Zach LaVine trade. You remember that? I said I don't know if we'll make it to 2028, but we definitely have. And ends up being number 2. Or that's Miami's pick, which is unprotected, I believe, the very next year. I actually should probably double check that. But number 2 and number 6 in this draft. I mean, at this point, we're ready to go contend. Maybe we make a trade. Maybe we go for one of them centers that we need. Maybe we do that. I think at this point, it might be time to do that. We can't really just bank on Livers being the guy. As much as he may, hit a good stride in the offseason as well. But let me go make sure this pick belongs to us. And if it does, we may look to trade 2 lottery picks. Although, let me see what this mock draft or this 2020 draft class consists of. Because I obviously have no clue. And I'm not sure if anybody really knows. Maybe you do. I don't know. So, Isaac Hayes, Fuentes, Jackson Davis. Yeah, I don't know any of these names. So, but I'm going to go look. Let's go see if we actually own this pick. I don't know what Miami's pick. I'm pretty sure it might be unprotected after 2027, but I could be wrong. So we're obviously looking at the center position here, and we have a couple guys in mind. So that pick is, in fact, unprotected in 2027, so the second overall pick. And usually you would just draft here, but since we're in 2K and we're trying to go win a championship, I am going to make a trade here. So we got Bam Adebayo, or we have something more interesting, something that's probably going to be impossible to pull off, but I might try it anyway. Or we could go get none other than Victor Wembanyama. They are selling, they suck. And we have the assets to potentially pull this off. Getting him is obviously going to be really hard to do, though. But we are going to try. So let's see if it ends up working out or not. So Wemby's making $47 million, 24 or 23 and 13. So Victor Wembanyama, 4. We're going to have to give up quite a bit here. So we're going to go Hawkins, who I guess I know why I signed him. And then we'll throw Livers in here. It doesn't have a ton of trade value, unfortunately. We'll throw, we have to throw someone here. Do I throw Kobe White in here? Oh, that'd be tough. Or do I throw Ayo? We got to trade somebody, and it might be these guys. So this would obviously take a big hit on the depth, but come on, man. We're getting Victor Wembanyama. This would be a huge overpay. Is it an overpay, though? We're getting a fucking, we're getting a, I might edit that out. We're going to get a 7'4" alien. I think we got to do this. So this is a really good offer. I don't know if they're going to accept this, but let's just try 2 without 6. Let's see what they say to this. They don't agree. So if I throw in 6, maybe that doesn't even change anything. They don't agree still. That's how hard he is to get in 2K. I'm not surprised they said no. I'm not throwing. I can't throw Hugo in here. Tamani Kamara probably doesn't. Wow, did not expect that to make the difference, but it does. We get Wembanyama in Chicago. So Wemby is in Chicago, and we have ourselves a squad now. We also kept our backup center, which is kind of nice. So it is kind of funny to see Jabari and Wemby, but these two would be obviously fantastic fits next to Giddey. So I love it. I love it. Now, we got to fill out the rest of the roster, but if this team can't win a championship next year, then I don't know what can. So qualifying offers, Cody Williams, got to bring him back, of course, as well. Yeah, a lot of money is going to go towards this. I'm sure we're over the second apron now. I mean, we got to be, right? So, Cody Williams is brought back. It does give us the ability to sign another player. So, wow, we are definitely, let's see, where are we at as a roster? Salary cap breakdown, 198 million. So, obviously, the second apron goes up every year. So I don't even know where it would be, of course, in the year of 2028. So I'm going to give me the leeway and say that I think we would have the money to sign an MLE, even though it's possible that that's not the case. But it is so far out there that who truly knows. So what I'm going to do is we can sign Hoshifino, Jared McCain, who would be a really good backup. Who do we want more? So do we want... I mean, we don't really have a guard at all, like a backup guard. So I think we'll sign Jared McCain. He is restricted, though, so I don't know if we'll be able to get him. But yeah, so we get Jared McCain, which is nice. All right. So now we can just penny pinch. Now we can only sign minimums, which is, makes sense. So this here Little, I'll get of him on a minimum. So we'll get him back, or get him. I don't know why I always say get him back. He definitely was not on our team before. And then give me Trent and Walford. We don't have money. Minimum. All right. So hopefully trading for Wemby was worth it. I almost never trade for Wembanyama, but come on, man. Josh Giddey, Wemby. I have to also see. I'm curious to see how much Livers develops, by the way. I have to see. So 88, 87, 86, 84. Bench isn't going to be as good, but that's the price you pay to get Wemby. So let's see. Was I better off just keeping Livers? Let's see. I traded him, right? Where did he go? Where did he go? What was his name? Livers? I'm confused. Or do I still have him? Wait, I'm so confused. Our Alejandro Livers, right? I sent him to the Spurs. Did they release him? Is that what happened? Because I did not see him. Let's see. Unless I'm just going blind here, which is possible. And I am still recording. I just want to make sure. But he definitely got released. I don't know where he went. That's interesting. So they just cut him. All right, so let's see where he's at. So he is a 77 overall still. So I don't know if that had something to do with him getting cut, why he didn't go up in overall at all, but I think we made the right decision not to stay patient with him. We bring in Wemby, like, we have to be contenders next year, right? We got to go win it all. Like, if this team doesn't win it all with Wemby, Josh Giddey, Jabari, like, that's a problem. So probably lenses 5th overall, 4.5 proficiency. Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Hugo, Jabari, Wemby, Cody Williams, Nick Richards, Jared McCain, and this here little is your 9-man rotation. So we're going to run this season. We'll see how this goes. And if this team isn't a 70-win team, or not, man, we don't have to be 70 wins, but if this team isn't good and we don't go into a championship, I'm going to be very disappointed. So Wemby in Chicago wins MVP. You love to see it. Also wins Defensive Player of the Year, and then Jenkins gets Coach of the Year. So we didn't win 70 games or anything like that, but Wemby All-NBA first team. Here's your All-NBA second, All-NBA third, All-Defensive first, and All-Defensive second. So we are the first seed in the Eastern Conference. Taking a look at the player stats. Yeah, 24 from Wemby, 21 from Hugo, 17 from Giddey, 17 from Cody Williams, and then 16.5, and then 14. So what I'm really hoping for here to end the video is I'm hoping to see OKC in the finals, because Josh Giddey gets to play his former team, and you got Wemby versus Chet. That would be amazing. But of course, we gotta beat the East first. So let's go see what we get in round 1. So Toronto, they do have Ace Bailey and Scotty Barnes, but obviously we've built this team to go win it all. So a better result in that. So let's go see if we can maybe shrink the bench utilization down even more. So let's go to like 30, which I never really take it that low, but I'm going to try just steamroll the East and not even have to sweat it. So we are going to beat the Raptors in 5, and now we get the Hornets. So LaMelo Ball, Cameron Thomas, they do have that. Didn't we beat this? We beat this team in the play-in though, so not a series, but Franz, Cameron Thomas, Paulo. I don't know how Charlotte's acquiring all this talent, but hey, they're making it work, I guess. Somebody current round, and with no center to guard Wemby, they got, which is he really guardable? I don't know. So Indiana, you got Nembhard, Halliburton, Ian Jackson, Hendricks, Siakam is playing center now. You really think Siakam stopping Wemby? There's no way. And we're going to beat them in 5. So give me the Thunder, please. And we do, in fact, get the Thunder. So, asking you shall receive, as they say. So we're going to go game by game in this one. The Thunder, of course, have a very good squad. Chet versus Wemby. Josh Giddey versus Shea, his former squad. Here goes nothing. Game 1. 1-0, just absolutely obliterated them. We've only dropped 1 game in every series so far, by the way, and the Thunder are no match. Wembanyama, Jabari, Josh Giddey gets it done to end the video. So Victor Wembanyama, Finals MVP. Let's freaking go, man. So Chicago, you got Josh Giddey. We'll see if he ever turns any. We'll see if he turns into anything in Chicago. I think they're taking the right approach, the right direction. And I'm glad we're able to get a championship. I'm in it there. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.